internet is afire about Tom Brady's balls.
I was waiting for you to get to that.
As a Jets fan, Jim, how do you feel about Tom Brady's balls?
Okay, you knew this was going to come, and I feel like if we were doing this in video, there would have to be some sort of like rolling counter at the bottom of the screen indicating how many times Mickey makes a Tom Brady's balls joke.
Yes, it could be. If this were a drinking game, that would be a great one right there.
You dare not drink every time the term balls comes on this show. So yes. So first of all, to emphasize, this is the 11 of the 12 used in the AFC Championship game were found to be deflated outside the acceptable range that the league has for how inflated a football is. Now the Colts lost that game 45-7. So the Patriot fan argument is, look, it wouldn't have made much of a difference. This
True.
is no big deal.
And I agree.
Well, here's the thing, okay? And you mentioned, the history of cheating. It was 2007. Bill Belichick and the Patriots were playing the Jets, and they had what's known as the Spygate scandal, in which they had sent a guy on the other team's sideline dressed in a, fake, in Jets paraphernalia, trying to imitate a member of the Jets staff and get their signals and effectively spy on them. And the team.
That's pretty damn dirty.
It is Belichick has, and then of course there were allegations that the Patriots had, against the rules, recorded the walkthrough of the St. Louis Rams in a previous Super Bowl.
Yes.
And watched that. That was never quite verified, but
a lot of St. Louis Rams aren't really looking for verification. They believe it because, again, the problem with this is, yes, we talk about allegations and whatnot, but almost every time that they've been investigated, they've been found guilty.
We're talking 1 out of 2?
Well, no, there's other things that they have been covered, but the Spygate story goes much, much deeper because they were found to obviously be doing it with the Jets, but they were videotaping things with other teams as well.
Yeah.
And they were already living under the right.
How many times have they done this without it? Now,
exactly. And how badly does Belichick need to win to where he's willing to basically forego all sportsmanship and just go for the jugular?
Okay, so my 2 questions to you, Mickey. The first is, considering the state of the game, how serious is this?
Very.
Okay, I pretty much agree with that. In that, even though you say, "Oh, the Patriots would have won anyway," well, I'm sure there are some listeners in the Baltimore area who might be saying, "Wait a minute, wait a minute." The game against the Ravens was a lot closer. That was very cold temperatures, and was there anything out of the ordinary in the games in that game?
We have rules for a reason. And everyone is expected to play by those rules. And if it is being found out that the Patriots are not playing by those rules, I think what makes people so angry is that the NFL can be very fickle about how they decide they want to punish people. And by the NFL, of course, I mean Roger Goodell, who can be found at NFL Commish on Twitter if you want to send him any types of notes. But the reality is, you look at the New Orleans Saints team and their fans, and they ended up being punished for an entire season without a coach, without a defense, because some guy said that there was a bounty out for basically doing their jobs.
Whoa.
No. Now stay with me.
Right.
But that turned out to be completely false. And they still were out the season. So why is Belichick not being punished like normal people? Everyone was mad about Spygate because not only did he get caught red-handed, he got a slap on the wrist for something that a lot of people believe other coaches, other organizations would have received a significantly higher fine and or reprimandation from the NFL. That's what I think.
I was going to put to you, in light of this, and here's the thing: it's that the allegation of cheating or doing something outside the realm of the rules, and we should point out that it
shows bad sportsmanship.
Well, that's a given. This way, there are a lot of people.
But that's really important to real athletes, and that's why I struggle with the idea that the players know anything about some of these things, because the players are the athletes here. Belichick is the mastermind, is the way I see it. But the players, I don't take anything away. As much as I like to mock Tom Brady and his balls, and trust me, I'm going to do that a lot over the next couple of weeks, it suddenly gives me some reason to really care about the Super Bowl. So there's that. However, having said that, I don't think the players would intentionally cheat because I do believe that there's integrity amongst athletes, and you see them after the game and they shake hands and they're friends and they appreciate, and you don't really see this much more other than when they actually even vote for each other for things. But they appreciate the skills of their opponents because they see them as opponents, not as enemies. And I fear that Belichick has a different approach to both the game and the people on the other side of the sidelines. Because he's kind of got that, like, I will win at all cost.
I think in the players' world, you have to treat opposing players as opponents and not enemies, because in free agency, you may end up playing right next to them in the following season.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing, and that in free agency, let's face it, is kind of what got Belichick into trouble. When his coaching staff started to leave and spread their wings, they were given the opportunity to tell some of the, in-house secrets. And apparently they weren't all good.
So my question to you, Mickey, would then be, what is the appropriate punishment? Presuming, this is all verified. And if as we're told, 11 of the 12 were underinflated, that Belichick is taking full responsibility and just castigating his staff for that 12th ball. Not being properly underinflated. But so what should the league do? What would be the appropriate punishment be for the
once
Patriots?
the investigation is completed, obviously at this point, there's no turning back on the Super Bowl. They're in. However, there are a lot of things that they can do to make sure that the Patriots' next couple of seasons hurt. They can take away draft picks. They can certainly suspend Belichick just like they did the coach for the New Orleans Saints at the time, Sean Payton. They can suspend Belichick, which I think is a great place to start. I would like to see some fines levied because at this point, when did the Kraft family get involved? Like, at what point did they get involved?
Mid-90s. Are you owning the Patriots?
Oh, no. I mean, like, at what point did they get involved with the fact that they've got a big, fat, cheating team?
Oh, okay.
And that's a technical term, by the way, the big, fat, cheating team.
Yeah.
That's totally a technical term.
Kraft is never, Belichick doesn't leave that position until he wants to. And Kraft is never going to lift a finger, I am sure. That, because think about it, I mean, Bill Belichick is the man who got him that Super Bowl ring that Vladimir Putin promptly stole. But nonetheless, you can't count on that sort of thing. Okay, I appreciate all of your proposed punishments, Mickey, but I kind of think they may not go far enough. What do you have in mind? Under Commissioner Jim, all of the New England Patriots win on Sunday would be nullified and canceled, and the Indianapolis Colts will be playing in the Super Bowl. All of the New England Patriots wins for the season would be eliminated, and they would have an 0-16 season. Not only would Belichick be banned from the league forever, all Patriots players would be banned from the league forever. The franchise would be disbanded, and an expansion franchise would be awarded to another city. And we would demolish Gillette Stadium and salt the earth so that nothing grows there forever.
Spoken.
Of course, subject to appeal.
Spoken like a true Jets fan. That is beautiful. That is a beautiful thing. I think I have a little tear in my eye. I think I have a little tear in my eye right now as thinking about the beauty of the destruction of Gillette Field.
No, okay, like that. Perhaps some people might say that's a little extreme. Fellow fans in Buffalo and Miami might say it doesn't go far enough. But the point, okay, like one. Actually, this has been, I think you'll go back to the Ray Rice stuff. This has been a tough year for the league. A lot of off-the-field issues, a lot of distractions, a lot of controversies, bad calls at the ends of games and stuff like that. And it just, I think the league needs a bit of a rebound because I think we're about one or two bad seasons away from reenacting the most Shane Blackiest movie of all time, The Last Boy Scout, depicting a ruthless...
Oh, you shut up. That's a good movie. But
that's a
topic for another day. What I will say is this. We are in danger of becoming baseball, and nobody wants any part of that. And I think that the other thing that needs to be looked at is, the fans are the ones who support this league. So they expect it to be legit, and we should do everything we can to keep all of that integrity in place. Football is one of the few places that many go for refuge.
All right. We have discussed a Patriot and we have discussed the Patriots. Our next segment will be on social media. Keep it right here
on the Jim and Mickey Show.
It starts here with a lightly toasted bun and then a pure beef hamburger, sizzling hot, a slice of cheddar blend cheese, and some crisp, fresh lettuce. Then our own secret sauce, the club slice, toasted. Another hamburger and a little more sauce just for good flavor. Crisp dill pickles and the sesame seed crown. This is the sandwich, McDonald's new Big Mac sandwich, for the bigger than average appetite.
I've heard people say that too much of anything is not good for you.
Welcome back to the Jim and Mickey Show. I am Jim Garrity, joined by Mickey White. We hope you're checking out the Jim and Mickey Show on Facebook, because I don't that often. And it leads to the natural topic. The odds of you finding something inappropriate or disturbing on our Facebook page is exceptionally small, but more than zero. And my question to you, Mickey, is we've been thinking a lot about protecting our kids from inappropriate stuff on the internet, and also maybe protecting ourselves, and maybe protecting ourselves from things we may regret posting on the internet.
Well, it's become such a big part of everyday life, as far as social media goes. And that goes to the Facebook page, which, of course, you can find us at facebook.com/Jim and Mickey Show, but whatever. And I
put that in there.
And we do, of course, post things there regularly, including some links that are from the show and other interesting videos, etc. Now, here's the thing. We really have an approach of saying to our children, be careful. There's even ads, the more you know. Be careful what you post online. It's very important for our children to know what they're posting online. There's even ads about, teaching parents what these little acronyms mean for texting and for what they're putting online, and ways for parents to spy on their kids. All of that is 100% accurate. However, who is keeping an eye on the parents?
Have you encountered something that made you think, this
well,
parent
actually,
is,
I've encountered a couple of things, actually. And one of the more interesting ones was actually a study that came out just this week. And it suggested that the newest thing that people are citing as far as causes of infidelity, et cetera, is Facebook. And so it's caused this rise of people who believe that their spouse or significant other or whatever is cheating, and they are using Facebook to prove it. And I thought that was really interesting, because now you're talking about actually taking those things. It's been for a while, people are aware of the fact that whatever you post on the internet is forever. So as an adult, how can that affect you? Well, it can affect your job, right?
Mm-hmm.
It certainly can affect your standing in the community, depending on who gets a hold of it. And now, apparently, it can also affect many other things, including your quality of life. Because, who doesn't have that person that reports back on everything that you do on Facebook? We actually have one of those, a friend of my grandmother's, my grandmother, I love her dearly, that reports back almost everything I do on Facebook. So anything that I put there, I know that she's going to see it. And so there's thought that goes into it.
Now we see why this is such an issue that near and dear to the heart of Mickey. And that's the thing. Grandparents, and Facebook are really not meant to interact. Because your whatever life you see depicted on Facebook is probably not meant to. We should have ratings. The following Facebook page is rated.
Yeah, forget the not safe
R,
for work. I want to see not safe for family.
Yeah,
not safe for public consumption, things like that.
Yeah, because you never looking over your shoulder,
Well,
like,
right.
My little son, what are you doing here? Get away, there are numerous times someone will use bad, I'm just going to use language as a good example, and, dropping the F-bomb or something like that. And,
which I am occasionally guilty of, I will admit.
Again, it's not, okay, the benefit of Facebook and Twitter is that any utterance you have can be shared with the entire world instantaneously. The bad news about Facebook and Twitter is that any utterance you have can be shared with the entire world instantaneously. And having, dealt with Nir Rosen, who was over at New York University, who said some utterly abominable statements about Lara Logan, the CBS correspondent who was attacked and sexually assaulted over in Egypt. He said a bunch of horrible stuff. I noticed it, screen grabbed it, and because I knew he'd probably go back and delete it, and called attention to it and said, "Hey, NYU, do you really want to be affiliated with a guy like this?" Now, a lot of people have said, "Should you be fired from your job?"